Hola a todos, bienvenidos a otro podcast BMW. En esta ocasión tenemos a un invitado muy especial, alguien con quien nos da para hablar muchos temas de BMW, y tenemos aquí con nosotros a Harald Gottsche. Harald, bienvenido a este espacio. ¿Cómo estás?
Estoy bien, muchas gracias por esta entrevista y buenas tardes a todos.
Harald, it's really nice. We're going to switch to English now because we're going to have a very long and technical conversation, and we are very lucky to have Harald with us. Harald is the CEO and head of the San Luis Potosí plant for BMW, one of the most technologically advanced BMW plants in the world. As well, if I'm not mistaken, Harald, it's the newest plant, which was, I believe it was opened in 2018 or 2019?
2019 in April we opened, so it is the newest. We are just some days before the opening of our newest plant, which will then be the new plant in Hungary.
Oh.
But as of today, we are the youngest and the newest.
The youngest and the newest. And before we take over and start talking about the plant, and also one topic I would like to share with you today is the 50th anniversary of the 3 Series, which is very important because, as you all know, the 3 Series is one of the most iconic models of BMW. I would like to talk about you, Harald, because I did my research. I hope I have the correct information, but you started in with BMW at a very young age as an internship, right?
Yes, exactly.
Part of a program called Future Talents, if I'm not mistaken. How did that work?
Yeah, so this was a program that combined an apprenticeship. Okay. So I'm an automotive mechanic with studies at university. So I'm also an engineer. And I always was afraid after school to do something, to study something for 4 years and then discover this is not what I want to do.
Okay.
So I thought, wow, that program is really perfect to be in the company and study at the same time. And I realized it was really perfect for me, because I learned the basics. In that time, I worked in development and research. I was in the plant Spartanburg. So I really knew already in that time, this is perfect for me. So 1999, after the program, then I joined BMW as an engineer.
And tell me something, because, I mean, managing the facility we've got here in San Luis, it must be a very stressful job, I don't know, or it looks very challenging because it's amazing what you've got going here. But did you always, growing up, wanted to work with cars? Were you passionate about cars, or you were just passionate about engineering, wherever it would take you? What was your expectation?
Frankly, I didn't fully know what I want to do. For me, it was always clear I want to do something technical. So in school, I loved physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And I liked cars, let's be open. In my young times, I watched the BMW 30 M3s in the DTM racing. Frankly, I never dreamt I could join BMW. So when this then happened and this really worked out, this was for me, of course, a great pleasure and great success.
Great. And during this time, you told me you've had the opportunity to work in countries like China, United States, obviously Germany, South Africa. Is that true? And that's been for short periods of times or for long projects?
Yes. So during the recent roughly 15 years, I worked in production.
Okay.
And I always worked in launching cars, so in launches. So we basically prepared the cars in Munich, building the prototypes. And then one of my jobs was to go out and launch the cars in the plants. So, and that is always a fascinating time. A launch is always a challenging phase. But it was great to see how the teams of BMW globally can work together. Be it in China, be it in South Africa or the US, we apply the same standards, the same launch methods, the same quality standards. And to see that all these different countries are able to do that was always a pleasure.
Wow. And then, BMW started, I believe, this plant in San Luis Potosí. The first stone was set in 2016.
Exactly.
It was opened in 2019. And you became head and CEO of this great facility in 2020. Did it take a lot of convincing for you to come over and come to Mexico? How was that?
So I was here already in the years before doing the ramp up or the construction of this plant. So I knew the plant, I knew the people. And when my boss in Munich asked me, would you be willing to go to Mexico? I said, yes, of course.
That's really nice.
Yes, of course. It was a pleasure.
Tell me three things you really like about Mexico.
I like about Mexico the food. I like the nature and the history. And most of all, I like the people. Because people are so open, so welcoming. They make it really easy to arrive here and to collaborate with them.
We were just talking a few minutes ago off camera. I asked you about how challenging is the culture shock, especially in a plant where I believe there's more than 3,000 employees, correct? And you have approximately 80 employees coming from Germany. And you were telling me a few minutes ago that the shock culture is not as difficult as someone might expect, right? For various reasons.
Yeah, for me, it was not a shock to go here. And it is also not a shock for the new expats that come here. Because as I said, the Mexicans make it easy. Yeah, they will welcome you. They're really open. They integrate you in your culture. So that makes it easy. And also, people say that the Germans are always focused on work and want to achieve things and focus on quality. The Mexicans are also doing that. Yeah. So they also are here to work hard, and they are working hard. They want to grow. So we have a great connection.
Yes.
Yeah. And that for me makes it easy. And I've never had a shock in Mexico.
Wow, that's great. It's great to hear that. And one of the things, we would like to have the opportunity to discuss with you is about the plant itself, because personally, I had the pleasure of visiting the plant for the first time 2 years ago in 2022. In 2 years, there's a new building. I couldn't believe there's a completely new building, which we will talk about in a bit, about what they do there. And I remember that the capacity of the plant at that point 2 years ago was still in a very early stage. Like there was a lot of room for growing. It's already growing now. But I would like to ask you, what makes this plant stand out from many other manufacturing plants in the world, from different brands, and its sustainability? I would like to talk about everything this plant does to help the environment. I don't know if you could tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So the first thing is, this plant is designed to be flexible. Yeah. So we build a plant for the next 50 years. Yeah. And you see it, we're already using our flexibility with the new buildings that we can talk later to be able to also integrate new products. Flexibility is one thing that really makes us standing out from many other approaches. Second thing, you ask about sustainability. And this plant was designed from the start to be to be sustainable. So that means all of our electricity is CO2 neutral. So we produce on site roughly 17% of the electricity with solar panels on site. The rest comes from the outside, from certified CO2 neutral or CO2 free solar panel factories. Wow. So the only CO2 emissions we have are out of the natural gas we use in the paint shop. And there we also are trying to reduce the CO2 footprint. So per car that we produce, we only emit roughly 80 kilograms of CO2, which is industry-wide a benchmark.
Wow.
Second thing is water. We are here close to San Luis Potosí, so this is a semi-desert area. So we want to also reduce as little water as possible. For that, 3 years ago, we extended our water supply system. So in the paint shop, this is where we use water in the processes. We already from the start integrated a reverse osmosis facility to reuse the water. And we also extended our water filtration systems so that today 100% of the water that we use in the paint shop are recircled back into the process water. So it's really a closed loop. And by this, we can also reduce the water consumptions to less than 1.5 cubic meters per car, which again is an industry benchmark. So we do a lot to really reduce our impacts. We also have zero landfill. So a lot of our waste is either recycled within the plant with certified suppliers, or is going to thermal recycling. So there's a lot we do, and we constantly see how can we improve. Yeah, today, for example, I don't know whether you had a coffee in the coffee shop. Even some details like, let's get rid of the paper cups. Yeah, this is just something we start. So it's not always the big projects, it's also the little projects that we pursue.
Every little thing matters.
Every little thing matters, exactly.
And I read somewhere that there is a goal of making the plant carbon neutral.
For this, we have the plan to use biomethane instead of our natural gas. The issue is currently the availability of biomethane in Mexico is a bit tricky.
Okay.
And we also have to consume it via pipelines. And there are some limitations that we see currently, but we are in constant talks. Again, as I said, we are constantly trying to improve, and we still pursue this project. For example, the new ovens we installed for the upcoming projects, all these are electrical ovens. So these will also be powered by CO2 neutral electricity. So this is again another step to reduce our CO2.
Yeah, I guess you need the supply, the help and supply of external partners to achieve this goal. So I guess that's a limitation, but I guess that's still a work in progress, right? That doesn't mean it will not happen. It's just work in progress.
Exactly. So we're in contact with suppliers, also with the authorities, about the regulations. How can we consume biomethane? These are, let's be open, complicated processes, but we are making progress on that.
The plant covers approximately 300 hectares and employs around 3,000, more than 3,000 employees, close to 4,000, I believe. And the investment for this plant, I think, was around 1.5 billion US dollars. But there's another expansion project which is happening in that building we discussed early on. Harald, this plant is becoming one of the main grounds for the Neue Klasse, right? And many people have asked me, what is Neue Klasse? Because people are a bit confused. Is it only related to EVs? It has to do with the actual vehicles, with experience, with the technology, with the digitalization? What is the Neue Klasse?
That's a good question. So Neue Klasse means new class. And Neue Klasse was a new generation of cars BMW put on the street in the 1960s.
Okay.
Back then, BMW had, a little bit of outdated cars on the road. And the Neue Klasse cars back then was a completely new standard. Also the base for today's 3 Series. That's why we chose it again as a name for the upcoming vehicles. What does Neue Klasse mean? It is the generation of all electric vehicles. So electric only EVs that we will build here. So it's a new architecture. It's BEV only, battery electric vehicle designed only, to make really the full utilization. Neue Klasse means not only electric, it also means connected, so digital and circular. So also, again, the question of sustainability. Important is that with the Neue Klasse, we also introduce a lot of new technology. Maybe you've seen the iX3 model with the panoramic head-up displays, for example, new technology of the drivetrain, new technology of connectivity, and we will roll out all these new technologies in all of the rest of the portfolio. So that means Neue Klasse is on the one hand this new architecture of electric cars, but the technology of Neue Klasse will spread out in all of BMW's lineup.
Wow. Because for people watching us, it's important that you all know that at this moment, here in San Luis Potosí, BMW produces the 3 Series, the 2 Series, the M2, which is, I always say all the M versions of each model is the Series 2 with asteroids, That's the way I say it. And also the M2 Racing, right? Which is a racing version of the M2, which is fully equipped for the racetrack. And the new building, it will be in charge of producing all the batteries for the Neue Klasse vehicles that will be produced in here, right?
Exactly.
Can we tell people, I don't know if it's public or not yet, can we tell what vehicle will be produced here?
So currently we've introduced the iX3 on the IAA in Munich. And I'm happy to tell that we are also preparing and we're in good progress to produce that model here also in San Luis Potosí.
Wow. So there will be an iX3 built here. Now, how difficult is to change the production line and build a completely different vehicle? Because you were saying earlier that the plant was designed to be flexible. And by flexible, you mean not only expanding, but also just changing the production line as needed?
Yes, exactly. So what we're going to do in the future, we will produce, for example, in the body shop, on the same line of the side frames, today's vehicles like the M2, the 2 Series, and the new electric vehicles. We only will build an extension in the body shop for the underbody, because that, due to the battery, is very different. That is new, but when the side panels, everything on the side frames is coming on, this is the same line. Then they will go to the paint shop. We will paint the same models in the existing paint shop. It's designed for the extended space and also for the weight. We just have to do some different ovens. As I said, the new ovens are electric, because where the battery area is, there are some reinforcements. They need more heat there. And then we go to the assembly line, and it's the same assembly line. So as of next year, we're going to produce 3 Series, 2 Series, iX3, M2, 2 Series, 2 Series right-hand drive, iX3. So this will happen on the same line. Again, we only had to integrate, only the planners will say not only, but we had to integrate some stations where we assemble the battery to the car.
Yes.
But the rest of the assembly is the same. That is exactly what I meant with a flexible design. So we can integrate also this new architecture that we didn't know about 6 years ago, frankly.
Wow.
But we can integrate this here into the plant.
Nobody told you were going to be in charge of all this new project.
Nobody, yes.
And this is
But I'm very happy that I am.
Perfect. It's enjoying the journey, I guess, right?
Exactly.
And that new building that we were discussing earlier as well, the main goal for that building is to assemble the batteries that will be required for those new Neue Klasse vehicles, correct?
Exactly. And this is a completely new battery concept. We call it Gen 6, so the 6th generation of batteries by BMW. It will consist of more than 900 round cells, so lots and lots of cola can-shaped round cells.
Yes.
Yeah? These have to be glued together. These have to be welded together. They will be foamed inside. So it's really latest technology. Wow. That is just being now ramping up in Hungary, and we then are after the US and China, basically the 4th plant where we're going to introduce this new technology. And we're looking forward to do that.
Wow. And talking about the flexibility of the plant, one of the things that I've been able to witness when I visited the plant the first time was the fact that I was expecting the production line to have the same model all the time, even maybe similar configurations. But I was surprised that the production line each vehicle is different. And you can have a 3 Series or a 2 Series, and then an M model, and then different color and interior configurations. And every single one is unique. And every station where your associates are responsible to build, whatever they have to do, whether it's seats or the engines, well, the powertrains and all the components of a current car, you depend a lot on your supply chain, right? If they get it wrong, you get it wrong. How do you work? How do you make it work with so many suppliers and have everybody in sync? How's that possible?
Yeah. So we adopt here a system we also use in Germany. And we are about the only company in Mexico that adopts that system. Okay. So you're right, every car is different. So, we produce premium cars, and we want to produce the car that the customers wants, with exactly the color, the rims, the interior, the leather cloth, the speaker system. Of a 3 Series, we can build more than 10 million different options. So they are all different. So how do we do it? We have a system called just in time, just in sequence. Mm-hmm. So basically, once out of the paint shop, the cars leave to the bridge to the assembly. Then it's roughly 5 hours before the car will hit the assembly line.
Wow.
That is the timing when we do the call off to the supplier. So the supplier knows, okay, the next 4 days I have to have a 3 series rim, I have to have this 2 series seat. They don't know the sequence. So when the body is here, we send out, okay, call off. We now need in 7 hours on this tag, this seat.
Wow.
We need also this exhaust trim. So our suppliers of the big parts are located around our facility. They get the call off and then they put the schedule that they know in the right sequence and all this be coming here in the right sequence.
Wow.
Then the body hits the assembly line. Every associate knows, okay, this is exactly the car. This is the car for Memo. Yeah, it has this part, so they have screens indicating, or they just take the right part out of the sequence. They will always scan it, so we make sure this is exactly the right part. If it is not, we have to check, okay, can we go on with the production or not? Worst case, we would have to stop the line. But it works. But it takes a lot of integrated supply systems. It takes a lot of flexibility. But this for us is so important that we can produce exactly the car like our customers want. So this is not a batch car. Yeah.
Wow.
And most of the cars are batch cars because it's so much cheaper. But we are special. We have a special price. Yeah. For that, we have to offer more to the customer.
Wow. And then also you keep a very low inventory levels, right?
Yes.
And that, I suppose, helps with costs and many other things.
That is the challenge, exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
we have to have a really tight steering. Yeah, and that what can happen. For example, now we enter again the hurricane season. Yeah, so we also get parts. The engines, for example, come out of Austria. When we have delays of more than 3 days, it gets too critical, and sometimes it happens that we have to fly parts in here.
Oh.
Yeah. But of course, we apply a lot of AI technology, a lot of forecast on the weather forecast. We know where the ship is. We track the trucks so that we can avoid to fly in parts because that is, of course,
Very expensive. And is it cheaper to fly parts than stopping the line? Or you do it just to not be late with your customers? What is the main reason?
Yeah, it's cheaper than to fly specific parts than to stop the line. Yeah.
So stopping the line is not an option.
It's not a good option. Yes.
Okay. It's been great talking about the plant, Harald. For me, it's like being in a playground, to see cars. I love cars, as you know, and for me, it's amazing, especially because you said something very interesting. We are unique, and we don't build batch cars. Every car is unique. And one of the things that made me fall in love with BMW since many years ago is the fact that I don't know how they somehow managed to, within their DNA, to provide us with the level of emotion that even with the new technology, even with electric vehicles, you still feel you are driving a car. You feel the sports side of it, especially on the M products. Some cars, I don't want to tell names, but some cars don't feel like cars anymore. And BMW managed to still give you that passion, and I really enjoy it.
I mean, that is at the heart of our brand. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of really, really good cars out there, but we have some crazy engineers, and this is in the DNA of all of our engineers, that these cars are built for the driver. Yeah, we build the cars around the driver-oriented cockpit, the weight distribution, the technology, the precision of the steering feel. We put a lot of emphasis on that. Yes. Yeah, and frankly, I made many launches. Yeah, and sometimes the parts under the hood are the same other companies use. And we had discussions with suppliers, and they go like, "Hey, we sold that part to other companies, 10 million, they never complained." And we said, yeah, no, but this is not good enough for us. We have to change it. And then we found out they had some design flaws in their tolerances. That's why the steering didn't feel like we needed. And they go like, BMW, you are crazy. But that is our DNA, what we think makes our cars different. Yes. So you can just drive them relaxed, but if you want to, and it doesn't depend on the engine. Yeah, even a 320i can give you a lot of pleasure. Yeah, to drive the car. And that is what I think makes BMW standing out.
Yes.
Many great cars outside there, but not that many that can give you that pleasure to drive.
Yeah, in my case, coming from a motorsports background, very few cars, street cars, will give you that track feeling than like the M vehicles give you, for example. Even though it's a street car that I can take the kids to school,
Yeah.
which is cool. And talking about driving pleasure, and I would like to discuss with you one of the most iconic vehicles that you have. The 3 Series, which we have right behind us, it's getting its 50th anniversary. It was launched in 1975. It's been through 7 generations, I believe now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Last generation was launched in 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
And we are celebrating the 50th anniversary, which is one of the main cars you built here. Can you talk to us a bit about the importance of the 3 Series for the company?
Yeah. So it is super important because it has been very successful in the world. More than 20 million sold in these 7 generations. And if you think BMW, most of the people will think 3 Series. Yeah. That is what a BMW is. A car that is sporty, that is premium, that's luxury, but that gives you that extra feeling. And that's why the car is so important for BMW. And that's why it still stands out. I mean, I'm always reading lots of car magazines. Yeah. And I read one from the UK just last week. And there was the 3 Series MT40i. And the verdict was, it's now 7th year after launching. It's still the perfect car and the best choice you can get in that class. Yes. And that's what this car makes me so special. It's for me so special, and why I'm so proud that we produce it here in San Luis Potosí for the world.
And Harald, also, I mean, talking about this celebration of the 3 Series, the one we have right behind us is a special edition that is being released to celebrate the 50th anniversary. Can you tell us a bit what difference there is between the regular 3 Series and the special edition one?
Yeah. So first, it's only available in Mexico.
Okay.
It will be only 321 cars, so really limited. It's a blend of certain specific options combined in a unique phase. And it will also share a special badge in the interior that says 50 years, 50 Jahre.
And why was it only released in Mexico? Is there a reason? Or?
Because we want to do something special here for Mexico, for our home market.
Okay. And because it's built here in Mexico. Now, the 3 Series is built nowadays, if I'm not mistaken, in Germany, in Munich, China,
and in China, and in San Luis,
and San Luis. And the batch of 3 Series built in San Luis go to what countries? No.
We export currently to more than 60 countries.
Oh.
So we produce petrol engines, diesel engines, right-hand drive, left-hand drive. So you can find them in the United Kingdom, in New Zealand, Australia, Colombia, in Germany. So we also sent this car, the sedan version, from San Luis Potosí to Germany, because Germany, Munich, is focusing to produce the touring versions and the i4.
Is it true that the Chinese 3 Series is a bit longer?
Yes.
And is there a reason for that?
Yes, because the Chinese like to have bigger cars. The premium cars, like a 3 Series, usually they have a driver. So the owner sits in the rear. So we want to offer, and that's why we offer more
legroom.
Exactly. So it's not that the Chinese are taller, but it's because they sit in the rear.
That's quite interesting. And in your opinion, how does the 3 Series embody BMW's DNA? I mean, where do you see, when you look at a 3 Series, whether it's the outside, the looks, or the driving experience, what 3 elements would you say this is a BMW?
Yeah. So when you look at the design, so we see the kidney grille at the front. We see the Hofmeister kink at the window line.
Yes.
We see a long hood and a short overhang. Typical proportions for a rear-wheel drive car.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the other cars that are front-wheel drive cars, which are okay, but just don't give you the pleasure, they have different proportions. Yeah. So these are, from the design perspective, the clear distinctions that allows you to always recognize a BMW 3 Series. And then, of course, it's, as we said, the blend of a luxury sedan, a premium vehicle, that at the same time can give you that sporty feeling. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes it, as we call it, the ultimate driving machine.
The ultimate driving machine. And do you believe this feeling and having the ultimate driving machine philosophy embedded into the 3 Series, do you think is one of the main contributions to its success? Or what do you think why do you think it's been so successful, the 3 Series?
Yeah, people love it. People love it because, as we said, I think it's the design, it's the premium feel, and it's that extra pleasure. Yeah, as we said, there are many good cars outside there.
Yeah.
Many good cars. But if you want to have that pleasure, you only get it in a BMW.
I think the 3 Series for sure is a legendary car. And will we ever see a fully electric 3 Series?
Probably yes.
Well, I hope to be here when that happens, and maybe you get to build it here as well. Maybe.
That would be great.
That would be great. And more challenges for you.
Definitely. Yes.
Harald, I have two final questions for you. What is your daily drive? What car you drive to work every day?
I drive an X5 hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
So I drive basically all electric.
Yes.
And let's be open, it is the perfect car for the streets that we
Yes.
have here in Mexico.
I drive an X5 as well, so I agree with you. And if you had to choose one BMW model for the rest of your life, that's the only car you will have the rest of your life. It can be a classic one, an old one, a current one, maybe a concept car that doesn't exist yet. I don't know. Which car would you choose?
I would choose the G20 M340i with the B58 engine because I've been responsible here in San Luis Potosí for the production for the last 5 years. I've spent many years in the development phase for the production network. So there's a lot of my personal life connected to that car. And the B58 engine is just a fabulous engine. Yeah, 378 horsepower, extremely high performance, still winning every benchmark, and at the same time, super efficient.
Yes.
So a very good fuel consumption. So it would be, this is a hybrid, so it would be this, but with the B58.
Yeah. Harald, it's been amazing sharing with you everything, all your experiences working and developing San Luis Potosí's BMW plant. And is there any chance you can let me look at the plant and see how things work?
I think yes, you're here today.
Yes.
So please join us and we show you the plant.
And is there any chance you can let me drive the M2 Racing?
Oh, that is a very special wish. So nobody else from outside ever has driven one before. But let's check and see whether you can go on the test track and have a short circle. But
I have my driver's license.
Do not tell anybody, okay?
Okay, I won't. Thank you so much, Harald.
Thank you. Pleasure.